and welcome to Truth Be Told, a unique series by osdotme. Today we have film screenwriter Mahendra Jakhar with us. He has some wonderful film stories under his belt, including Manjhi the Mountain Man, which starred Nawazuddin Siddiqui. He's also an award-winning author of some of very wonderful books, including The Swastik Killer and The Chakra Warrior. His latest is The Housewife. Welcome to Truth Be Told, Mahendra Jakhar. How are we doing today?
Well, I'm very good, and thank you for inviting me to this show, Medha. It's a real privilege to be here and talking about my work and spirituality with a lot of people, and thank you so much.
We are very excited to have you over. And congratulations on your latest book, The Housewife, which is a thriller, and we will talk about it. But right now, I want to dive right in and talk to you about your work. There is this underlying theme of oneness, courage, triumph of the human spirit in all your work. So I wanted to ask you, are you a very spiritual person?
I don't know whether I'm a very spiritual person, but yes, yeah, somewhat I can say this. Yes, I am a spiritual person, and yeah, in spite of being a religious person, because I don't do my religious pujas and this and whatever rites and rituals, but yes, maybe meditation has become a part of my life. So that has become a kind of a ritual, you can say. Meditation has become a ritual in my life, and it has been a long process, like right from my school days when I started reading a lot of books, because there was something like I was trying to find something, trying to discover something, trying to understand life. I started reading Vivekananda. I tried to read Vedas and a lot of Upanishads. They were available in our school library. So, but I couldn't understand anything. And slowly, as I progressed from college, I started working as a journalist. I even took to one of the sects of Buddhism where they chant. So I was a part of that for a few years. I had some really good experiences with that. But after a point, again, there was a wall that I was not growing, and the questions that I had were not answered. And by God's grace, I found my spiritual master, who is Meher Baba. He is no more. So when I actually got connected to him, he had already he passed on actually in 1969. He dropped his body, but his teachings inspired me, and his teachings, by reading his books, by meeting some of his disciples, followers, and learning about him, suddenly answered all my questions. And I was like, wow, man, if this is life, is this the purpose of life? And then I started again a process of discovery, reading more about him, reading more spiritual books. And now I have come, it's not, I'm not saying that I found everything, but yes, a lot of my questions that I had as a schoolboy were answered. And I think that oneness, that the very purpose of life, and somewhere those things became very clear, and they became a part of my writing, my work, and my stories.
You mentioned purpose of life a lot of times. So I would want to understand for you, what do you think is the purpose of our lives? Have you discovered that yet? Have you been able to crack that mystery for all of us?
I see, as per my spiritual master, see, again, this is a theoretical knowledge,
Yeah.
because in this world, we all want to be successful in whatever we are doing. We want to have all our material things. We want to be like being an author. I want to be bestseller. I want to be the highest paid writer. I want to be the best filmmaker in my category. But it's still a theoretical answer that, like my master and many other masters say, the very purpose of life is to become one with God. Somewhere I also realized that through my writings, the only thing I can do is to help raise consciousness of people. Because what I realize, why is it that being humans, everybody is behaving in a different manner, everybody is at a different strata of society. So, what as a spiritual person I realize is everybody is acting from a different level of consciousness. So, it is the responsibility, you can say, duty, or the job of an artist through their art help raise the level of consciousness of people from level 1 to level 3 to level 4. So I am trying to do that. Like if you see Manjhi, the mountain man of film, a totally illiterate person, untouchable, who is not even allowed to step inside a village. He buys a hammer and a chisel and starts breaking a mountain to carve a path for the whole village. Now, from a lowest level of consciousness, suddenly this man reaches the highest level of consciousness of a spiritual master. People started calling him mad, but after 20 years, when they saw the path, they realized that this guy is some kind of a sadhu, some kind of a saint, fakir. And by the end of it, today they have a samadhi of Dashrath Manjhi in the village. People go to bow down to Dashrath Manjhi's samadhi. So I think my main job as a writer, as a filmmaker, is to bring out such stories. Because when a simple common man in the street sees the story of a Dashrath Manjhi, he sees, yeah, this guy can do this. I can also do this. Like there is this journalist who comes to Dashrath Manjhi and he says कि I want to start my newspaper, but बहुत मुश्किल है, इतना आसान नहीं होता है जितना आप समझते हो. And Manjhi says क्यों, पहाड़ तोड़ने से भी मुश्किल है क्या? And that guy is like flabbergasted कि yes, yeah, this guy has been breaking this mountain for 22 years with a hammer and a chisel. If he can do it, I can do this, yeah. So as a storyteller, whether be it my books or my films or web series, this is what I'm trying to do and trying to achieve, that somewhere I'm able to strike a chord with people, with humans, trying to tell a human story which connects with them and which creates a spark in them that yes, they can achieve something in their life. And maybe in that, whatever they achieve, they also maybe go a step further, step closer towards self-realization.
Some people, there's always been this debate, right? Art for art's sake or art for life's sake. So you are more
Yeah.
about art for life's sake. You want to inspire people, like it has to have a purpose. And like you rightly said, if artists won't do it, who will do it? But it's
Exactly.
not easy to become an artist in a society which is utilitarian, right?
Yeah.
Not all the artists make money enough to sustain themselves or have a very comfortable life. So
Yeah.
when you decided to become a writer, was it difficult for you to act on that decision? Was it difficult for you to convince your parents? Could you just take us through your journey?
Yeah, it's been very difficult actually. See, I was also in a very nice, cushy job working with uh, one of the largest circulating English daily in Delhi. And then in fact, I took a transfer to Mumbai. So I worked in Mumbai also for 1.5 years. But then I got my first break with Mahesh Bhatt Saab, who offered me to write the screenplay of Killer. And after that, somewhere I decided to resign from my job and start and work as an independent writer. Yes, from then on, the journey was very, very difficult because then your monthly check is not coming. And then suddenly you realize whatever you have heard that Bollywood is going to pay you so much, suddenly money is not coming at all. And that's the time, yes, for months and months, you keep slogging, you keep going out, meeting people. And luckily, I got a break in television at that time. So I started writing any and every kind of television show. So I have done like more than 70, 80 episodes of CID. I did a full season of Mano Ya Na Mano. I did family shows like Betiyan, Bidai. Then I did a televised adaptation of Sita or Gita. I in fact also did a mythology show, Dwarikadhish. So television actually became a good source of earning. The problem is it slots you into a particular genre.
Right.
So if I came here to become a filmmaker, a film writer, suddenly the industry starts saying, अरे ये तो टीवी लिखता है, अरे तो
Oh.
सास बहू का सीरियल लिखता है, आपने तो बेटियां लिखा है, आप तो बिदाई लिखते हो, and so film walas don't take you seriously. So again, I had to give up my television, which was a very, very lucrative source of income, because finally I had come to Mumbai to be a filmmaker, to write movie scripts. And in the process, actually, I also realized that I have lot many stories to tell. And every story of mine, every script of mine is not going to be made into a film, because filmmaking is a very, very different process. It's a very expensive uh, project. Like today, even the smallest of films take 5 to 6 crore rupees. So suddenly I realized, being a writer, and I have been a voracious reader throughout my school days. So started, I said, let me convert some of my stories into books. So I started into books, and I became an author also. So today, I have 4 published books in my hand. And from my television, I moved to doing more films. I did another film with Tigmanshu Shagird, and then I did Manjhi the Mountain Man. In between, see, being a script writer, you actually write 5 to 6 to 10 scripts, and out of
Wow.
that, only one film gets made. So amount of labor is so much, in your work is so much, and your output is comparatively very low. So you, as a writer, I realize I have to, I mean, utilize my writing skills in each and every medium, wherever I could get paid for. And yes, being an author still doesn't pay very much in India. Authors don't get paid. I was lucky enough that my first book got me a good advance payment. But then my first book was The Butcher of Banaras, and now Yashraj Films has bought the rights for The Butcher of Banaras to be made into an international web series. So those rights get you very good money. So now Yashraj has paid
Congratulations,
me.
first of all. Yeah.
Thank you
Congratulations,
so
first of all, for that. That's
much.
that's a very big news.
Yeah, so that's another look, because today, see, being these web series that's coming in, so many OTT platforms have come in, and now you have, everybody's looking for interesting stories, everybody's looking for good content, and you see so many books being translated into, adapted into web series today.
Yes, and that
Yes,
way
and
your
still,
story reaches to
yeah,
a lot of people. That's there. But see, today
exactly.
you have OTT platforms, and movies are also releasing on OTT. So there are a lot of avenues. But when you were
Yeah.
beginning and when OTT hadn't come into the picture, it wasn't so easy. So during those tough times, my question to you is, what kept you going?
I really don't know what kept me going actually. I think इस इंडस्ट्री में आने के लिए, और टू बी एन आर्टिस्ट, कहीं ना यू नीड टू हैव दैट स्ट्रीक ऑफ मैडनेस इन यू, बिकॉज इट्स लाइक देर इज नो प्लान बी.
Okay.
There is no plan B for a lot of people like me who come to Mumbai. If you come with a plan B, na, you will actually end up with plan B. कि ये नहीं वर्कआउट हुआ तो वो कर लेंगे, तो more than 90% people end up with that plan B actually. So when I was here, na, a lot of, even yes, my parents never discouraged me, but they were worried. So they were used to ask, कैसा चल रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, what is happening, my family too. But nobody ever actually discouraged me. They wanted me to follow my dreams, fulfill my dreams, but I was slowly and slowly, with time, when nothing was happening, I myself was getting worried what to do. I tried to get a few jobs and all. Again, I did a job for 1.5 months, but I just couldn't sustain it. I was like, कि क्या कर रहा हूँ यार? In fact, they were paying me very, very good money, but somehow I just left the job, because I even I don't understand how I have actually come out through all those tough times. And I think this is the time to end it all. So those were the thoughts. And a lot of people like me have gone across that situation. Ki jump, jump, jump. Train is coming, just jump and finish off your life. And then something pulls you back and it keeps you going. So I think it's somewhere, I think God's grace that wanted me to follow my path and never let me go. And there was this one or two Hindi. There was this Hindi poem actually we read in school that actually kept me going, and I kept it reciting in my head. ये प्रदीप जो दिख रहा है झिलमिल दूर नहीं है, थक कर बैठ गए क्यों भाई मंजिल दूर नहीं है.
मंजिल
So
दूर
every
नहीं
time I
है.
was sad, I used to keep on reciting these lines in my head, these lines in my head कि थक कर बैठ के क्यों भाई मंजिल दूर नहीं है. And I would go on. There were hard times because there was no OTT, nothing, and there were times I didn't have money to even buy food or even buy a bus ticket actually. So if I had to go to 5 kilometer किसी meeting में जाना है, I have to walk and reach there. So yes, it's very, very tough being here. So everybody goes through this. Like if you ask Nawazuddin or Manoj Vajpayee, all these non-industry people who have come from, be it Anurag Kashyap or anybody, they have all done this. They have all gone through this because that's how I think Mumbai and this film industry tests you. So it's like a test of fire. If you go through this, if you pass this, then only it will allow you to enter the gates of this Mumbai.
So, of course, you say that there was a spark of madness, and all creative people are a little mad because they're unique. But
Yeah.
somebody who is here to start in Mumbai, who wants to make it big in Mumbai, or like you crack Bollywood. What would you say to somebody who is planning to start on this journey, or who's going through a tough phase? It could be Bombay, it could be anywhere in life.
See, first and the most important thing is to realize that what you really want to do is really that is it that what you want to do? Because a lot of people, a lot of young boys from Delhi come here to become actors and they are like, see sir, Hrithik ki tarah I can dance, I can do this, I can do this. Like, already Hrithik Roshan is there, na? Why do you want to dance like him? What is your originality? So my first point is to realize your own potential. Being a writer, are you really a writer? Do you have that flow of ideas, stories that are just dying to flow out of you? Because there are days when I'm waiting to get up because I am just dying to write. So, is there that kind of spirit inside you that maybe I'm not just saying being a writer, painter, filmmaker, you might want to become a banker, a scientist, a IT wizard, or whatever you want. But the thing is, first to realize whether you have that potential or not. And like what Rumi said, everybody is given a gift. God has put a gift inside you, and that gift is unique to you. So the first process, I believe, the entire journey of being in a school or college is to realize that gift. What is that gift hidden inside me? So I think the entire education system should make a student realize what is that gift hidden inside you, and then work on it to polish it, to craft it, and to enhance it, and then only enter that field. Then you go out, meet people, and your journey starts to make a mark in that field. And then from an amateur, you become a professional. That you use that gift, that potential to earn money. And you make a mark in that whatever field you have. So, first is to realize your potential, whether you really have it in you or not. Don't go by what others say, don't go by what is there out on the screen, on television, on internet. Realize within yourself what is really your unique gift, then only move ahead.
But tell me something, between destiny and hard work, what do you believe?
Definitely, I 100% believe in destiny. See, destiny will take you to a point. Destiny will. Now, J.K. Rowling, how did she get the idea of Harry Potter? Even today, she doesn't know the answer. She was traveling in a local train. She was divorced, going through the toughest of times in her life. She had hit
Single
almost
mother.
rock bottom, single mother, and suddenly the idea of Harry Potter comes. A completely different world, a magical world, completely these new characters. She had studied literature. It is not that she was born and brought up on such fantasy stories. Where did that come from? I think it just came out from, like, I believe what Nikolai Tesla says, the ideas are somewhere else. Your brain is only a receptor. You need to open up your brain, your consciousness to receive those ideas. And that is where I think meditation helps, or in case of J.K. Rowling, when you have completely hit rock bottom, that is also the time when you reach that kind of a meditative state where you completely surrender. And you are like कि इससे ज्यादा बुरा तो मेरे साथ कुछ नहीं हो सकता, so let me see. And that is the time you see something opens up, something comes to you, khatak se, from the universe or whatever you call, from a different dimension. That idea comes to you. And look at that idea, Harry Potter. It changed the entire world. It changed. Matlab, J.K. Rowling, nobody, matlab, today, she's a billionaire author. Matlab, no other author could have thought of earning billions by writing books. She's the richest author in the history. So, yes, that is destiny, how the idea came to her, and then how she converted that idea into books. In spite of getting rejected again and again, she persisted. The books were out, and you see the result. Life always whispers. Sometimes we catch the whisper, sometimes we don't catch the whisper because you're too lost in today. Your mind is so jumbled up, you don't hear the whisper.
So, like you said, I also totally believe that the universe is constantly guiding us and everything is out there for us. We just need to, like in one of your os.me articles, also, you wrote about, how it's everywhere. We need to be more receptive about it. So,
Yeah.
now tell me, how do you get your inspiration? Do you meditate to get ideas? Because one has to open up to the universe to receive the message, like you said. So either you hit rock bottom or you really calm yourself down and you surrender to the universe and say, okay, I need to hear the answer or I need to hear the
Yeah,
truth. What
well,
is your
that's not a.
inspiration for your work?
Yeah, see, it is not that I meditate to get ideas. So if you start doing meditation for a certain result, then actually a meditation is not working. So you meditate to be in that state where your mind is more clearer, and you are open and receptive to the universe, to the higher intelligence. So my only conscious effort is, somewhere can I connect with that higher intelligence? Even a little drop, padak, if it comes and touches me, somewhere that bliss what masters talk about, somewhere that, I don't know. So I strive through meditation, trying to connect to higher intelligence. I don't know what the process is, but yes, that is what I try to do. But somewhere I also realize, when you try to do, it will not happen. You just have to surrender and stop even trying. So that is a next stage, when you don't even try and when you let things happen, something will strike. So I'm just hoping, maybe once in my lifetime, maybe something will strike and I'm able to invent something. Like, your mind is an obstruction, it's like a wall between that higher intelligence and you. So the entire meditation is, can you break the wall?
Right. So what you said is just so amazing, and I have a feeling that a lot of people are now turning to spirituality to find their inner compass. Uh,
Yeah.
until a few years ago, it was just about other things going outwards. Now it's about going inwards. Do you also get this feeling that the world is turning spiritual now?
Yes, yes, definitely. In fact, uh, see, the very purpose of this technology that has come in, internet and all this, actually, what a spiritual master will tell you is, the very purpose of this technology is to take the whole world inside, inwards. That's why you see today, the message of a spiritual master, a spiritual teacher, like be it Om Swami, Sadguru, Shri Shri, whoever are present today in the world, they can communicate with lakhs and millions of people, and millions of people are watching their videos. And somewhere I think, even if it strikes small chord, one tuck, little bit in their heart, something is changing. That bit I talked about, raising the level of consciousness, I think that is what they are doing through this entire technology communication that is happening. See, world has reached a material kind of a saturation, so people don't know what to do now. Okay, and a lot of people have started questioning the very purpose of life. And that's what any spiritual master will say. The first question, if it comes to your mind, why were you born? And you are gone, actually. The moment you question, why am I born? Everybody is doing the same thing: education, taking up a job, getting married, having bachas, and this and that, and then you die. What? It's like a repetition of every other life. So, as an individual, as a human being, why am I on this earth? Is there some other purpose? So, I think God or higher intelligence, whatever, I think it's speeding up the process. The higher intelligence also wants the entire humanity actually to realize the bigger purpose and to realize what they call self and to reach the main purpose of their life. So I think this is the age when more and more people will be drawn towards spirituality. And I am seeing more and more youngsters. See, there was a time
Yeah.
only when our parents, our dada dadi used to go and do bhajan. Now I have friends who go to bhajan, kirtan, and young boys and girls attending spiritual seminars, going to meet spiritual gurus, reading spiritual books, because they also try to understand what this life is.
What is that one piece of work that you're really proud of?
No, yeah, I think mainly yes, Manjhi the Mountain Man was something a movie that I think I'm really proud of, and my book is Swastika Killer actually, because from my school days I've been a World War buff. I love all World War stories, so there was always this germ inside me that I wanted to write something on World War, and it's by this time that I connected the Hindu swastika, the Nazi swastika, the World War. So yeah, and I love it because people have loved that book because not Indian readers are not that inclined toward World War stories and all, but I'm getting a lot of appreciation from international readers. So it's a beautiful, beautiful book, and I'm really proud that at least I could do what I dreamt in school. That let me maybe I'll write something on World War, and I don't know how I created that Nazi swastika and Hindu swastika, and there's a lot of mythology. There's the connection to Hindu Navagrahas, and then the Nazi history is there, the unknown events in during the Holocaust, and how everything gets connected, and how the four hands of swastika become the killers of
Right.
swastika. So that's that.
Yes, you in that it's a beautiful book, and you've connected it from Germany to Mumbai to so many
Yeah,
philosophies. And when I read it, I was so amazed that such diverse things have been yoked together and presented so credibly. It is a treat
yeah.
for the readers. That is definitely
Sure.
so. Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
So my next question to you is, what is that one thing you'd like to be remembered for?
Today, when I'm alive, I want to be talked about and remembered, even if friends remember me, like you are sitting there in Delhi, if you remember me, more as a good human being, as a good person who tells interesting stories through various mediums and who is trying to discover life. And
So my next question is, you spoke about the difficult phase in your life. Who was that one person who did something really kind to you that you still remember?
I was going through major financial crunch. So yeah, there were two, three senior writers in the industry who really helped me get some jobs. So I would like to thank them. Like there's one Virendra Shahani, who was a very senior television writer, who introduced me into television writing, who took me under his wings, and then for a few months I wrote under as an co-writer with Virendra, and then I started as an independent writer. So yeah, he was instrumental in at least getting me work in television industry at that time.
Okay. And have you been able to pass on that kindness?
Yes, I have tried. I have brought in a lot of young talent. There's another young boy from UP who came to me, Kaushal Kishore, today I can tell his name, whom I introduced into lyrics writing and dialogues writing. Today he's writing lyrics for many films, many music videos, and dialogues for web series. So he's currently doing good. And yeah, one another girl who came from Pune to assist me because there was a time when I was writing a film, and then today she's a television actress. So
Oh,
from
wonderful.
assisting me, she became a television actress. So
What is your favorite calm down activity? What brings you back to your inner self? What is it that you do every day besides meditation? Meditation is, of course, one.
Yeah, no, I read. I read. Reading is like my drug, actually. So every day I read at least minimum 50 pages of a book. So that's like at least one book a week. So
So,
or
what are you
some
currently
poetry.
reading?
Currently, I'm reading Seven Husbands of Evelyn something. So I just started that
Yeah,
new
yeah.
book. Yeah, and
Okay.
I have a lot of. I read spiritual books regularly. So just to be connected, there are some books which I have read more than 7 times, 8 times, but I still keep going through them. Like I have poetry of Rumi and Hafiz, which I regularly keep reading.
Okay. So, okay, now this is my favorite question. You are one of the star bloggers at os.me also. So, first of all, thank you for choosing os.me to blog. I think that's the only place you blog at.
Yeah,
What is your
yeah.
favorite part about writing on os.me?
My favorite part is that see in Mumbai, being in this industry, I cannot even talk about spirituality the way we have been talking during this entire conversation. So at least os.me is a platform where I connect to, you know, similar minded people who think similarly, who are spiritually connected, and especially with Om Swami, who are guided by such a master and who will understand what I am writing because I'm also coming from a spiritual bent of mind. And there is no other platform where I could find, because even I tried to discuss such things with a lot of my friends, and after a point, they're like, yeah, shut up, yaar, enough of nonsense. क्या तू बाबा बाबा की बात कर रहा है? For them, every spiritual master is a बाबा. कि ये बाबा वगैरह की बात
Right.
मत किया कर यार. और क्या spiritual बातें कर रहा है? पागल हो गया तू. So they are not into all this. So only very few close friends I have who I actually don't get to meet them often. So this is a beautiful and a great platform for me to connect with such people and talk spirituality, discuss spirituality, and to understand more, because a lot of writers and Om Swamiji's writing and so many wide aspects of life he covers. So it is for me a platform where I can learn more and more, where I grow my understanding more and more, and to where I'm able to, I think, elevate my consciousness to a higher level.
And we like to call ourselves the kindest and the most truthful corner on the internet. So I'm very
Yeah,
proud of where I work right now, and I'm really thankful to people like you who contribute to making this even more beautiful. I know you work in a TV series and sorry, web series, right? You work in a web series, a film, and you've just released your latest book, The Housewife. Let's talk about
yeah.
that a bit.
Yeah, see, Housewife, in one line, if I say, is the story of an ordinary woman with an extraordinary power. So she's a middle class housewife who gets these weird dreams, and she doesn't know that it's her soul that travels out and experiences these things. And her extraordinary power is that she realizes she can make her soul move out of her body at will. And now she starts using this extraordinary power that she can move her soul out of her body at will. Thak se. And then now the soul can move anywhere, do anything. So now she becomes a kind of a vigilante. When she realizes, oh, I can be a Spider-Man, I can be a Batman. But being in a soul form, again, she realizes she cannot really fight with the bad guys. So now she uses the body of different people to fight against the crime in Mumbai, and how she realizes that inside her own home is the biggest villain, who is
Okay.
the husband. And so she's out there trying to fight with all these criminals. So what will she do with her husband? So now that's a very question she faces, and what she does, that's the story. And so it's an interesting thing how a very middle class woman who is taunted, commented, suddenly realizes his power. And again, it's a supernatural gift. And how she gets this gift as a childhood, in her childhood. So that's the story. And how she travels from old Delhi to Mumbai, gets married, her love life, her married life, her romance, and this power completely changes her life. Like Spider-Man says, with power comes great responsibility. So when she realizes that responsibility, so she realizes that now I have to take some action also. So what can I do with this power? And she now goes out to fight the bad guys. So that's what Housewife is.
Wonderful. To everybody watching this, I would say please go out and buy a copy of The Housewife. It's a wonderful book. Um, uh, so my last, absolutely concluding question is: have you had any spiritual, really intense spiritual experiences or supernatural experiences ever?
During my uh, dark phase, when I was completely lost and I was in a depressive state, and I was just shouting at my master, Meher Baba. And that is the time I heard a very loud voice. And I still remember that it's a very loud voice. Love yourself. That is, and that is the only message which I heard. Damn, where did this come from? It was nowhere. I was in a depressive state. I cannot tell myself, love yourself. I was like shouting and cribbing and this and that. And suddenly I hear a voice. And it is, I don't know whether, होता नहीं जब आकाशवाणी हुई, but it was like a voice coming from within. But I could hear it. Love yourself. And then your journey starts to understand how to love yourself, which is very difficult because you are always blaming yourself, always criticizing yourself, always blaming yourself for others, for your family, for your relatives, for your friends. In every relationship, नहीं नहीं मेरी वजह से कुछ गड़बड़ हुआ, मैं ही खराब हूँ, मैंने ही कुछ गड़बड़ किया है. How to love yourself, that, and love yourself. And another experience was when I again realized that nobody loves me. And that's another message I got when it was like a voice. He said, I always love you. God will always be with me. I will always love you. So it is like today I'm in a state when the entire world stands against me. I know my God loves me.
That is so beautiful, and we'll always remember it. It's also like a message to everybody who's listening to us right now. So, on that note, I will say thank you so much for joining us, Mahendra Jakhar. It has been a lovely, spiritual, enlightening conversation,
Thank you
and
so much, Medha.
it was lovely to have you. And everybody watching us, please check out osdotme. We are a writing platform where you can grow spiritually and materially, because you also get, you can earn money by blogging and stuff. And do
Yeah.
not forget to buy The Housewife. You can order it from Amazon.